Hey there, fantasy owners. Welcome to Lift the Cup Fantasy, or LTC Fantasy as some people call it. And today's our Week 25 Waiver Wires episode, where we're going to look at some different goaltenders, defensemen, forwards that have been hot the last couple of weeks to hopefully get you that piece or pieces to get you that fantasy win. Don't forget to check into the description, because there I will mention where in the episode to find defensemen, goalies, forwards, etc., and that way, if you need to come back to the video due to roster needs, injuries, etc., do remember to subscribe. That way it's a lot easier to find that video and get those pieces you need. So we will jump right into it with some goalies. Remember, this time of year, goalie selection is a little slim, but some for you is Mike Smith from the Edmonton Oilers. He's owned in 42% of Yahoo leagues. In his last couple of weeks, he's been 4-0 with a 2.24 goals against average and a .932 save percentage. His starts might be more of a platoon situation with Koskinen back, but it is somebody that has been winning of late. Another one is Cal Peterson from LA. He's owned in 43% of Yahoo leagues. He's been getting more starts in quick, so that bodes well over quantity over quality. He's 2-3 over the last couple of weeks with a 3.77 goals against average and .881 save percentage. Another one more quantity over quality is Craig Anderson in Buffalo. Owned in 11% of Yahoo leagues. Last couple of weeks, he's 2-2, so 500. He has a 3.16 goals against average and an .890 save percentage. Last one is Anton Forsberg from Ottawa. He's owned in 40% of Yahoo leagues. Last couple of weeks, he's 2-3 with a 3.24 goals against average and a .900 save percentage. So at least his save percentage is a little bit higher. He's going to get you one, maybe two wins a week there. So we'll jump into some defensemen. Off the top of the list is Noah Hannafin from Calgary. He's owned in 41% of Yahoo leagues, plays in the top pairing, second power play unit, and he's been hot lately, having 11 points in his last 9 games played. Another one from Florida is Gustav Forsling. He's owned in 28% of Yahoo leagues, plays in that top pairing in Florida, and he has 7 points in his last 6 games to go along with 25 shots on goal. Next one is Chris Weidman from Montreal, owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues, plays in that third pairing and second power play unit, and he has 8 points in his last 7 games. One thing I would warn is that he has been healthy scratched in a couple of games in the last little bit here, so do check to only play him when he is in the lineup, because he's been in and out the last week here. Going back to Florida, look at Brandon Montour. He's owned in 12% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second pairing, second power play unit, and he has 5 points in his last 5 games played. Go to Minnesota, look at Jared Spurgeon. He's owned in 61% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second pairing, top power play unit, and he's currently on a 7-game point streak where he has 1 goal and 7 assists for 8 points. So it doesn't get much hotter outside of Yossi than that right now. Next one's Nick Leddy in St. Louis. He's owned in 5% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on the second pairing top power play unit. And he's currently on a 5-game point streak. 1 goal, 4 assists for 5 points. So definitely getting comfortable in St. Louis there. Next one's Mark Giordano from Toronto now. I almost said Seattle. Owned in 57% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on the third pairing, second power play unit. And he's definitely getting comfortable being back in his hometown. 5 points in his last 6 games. Next one's Oliver Ekman-Larsson from Vancouver. He's owned in 45% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on the top pairing, top power play unit. And he's put up 7 points in his last 8 contests there. Next one's Matthias Ekholm from Nashville, owned in 37% of Yahoo leagues, plays second pairing, second power play unit, and he's put up 5 points in his last 6 games to go along with 15 blocks and 16 shots on goal. Another one from Nashville is Alexander Carrier, owned in 3% of Yahoo leagues, plays second pairing, and he's put up 5 points in his last 7 games and throws the body around. He's had 18 hits in those 7 games. Next one's Damon Severson from New Jersey, owned in 33% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the top pairing and second power play unit, and he's been really good, having 8 points in his last 10 games. Going over to Philly, look at Ivan Provorov, owned in 58% of Yahoo leagues, Playing on the top pairing and second power play unit, he's been having a good couple of weeks, putting up 5 points in his last 5 games to go along with 18 shots on goal and 17 blocks. So definitely some secondary metrics there to help you out. Next one's Ben Sherratt from Florida, owned in 35% of Yahoo leagues, playing on the top pairing there, and he does a little bit of everything. 3 points in the last 5 games, so over half point per game, but also throwing 14 hits and 12 blocks in those games. Go to Carolina, look at Jacob Slavin, owned in 60% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the top pairing second power play unit, and he's put up 4 points in his last 6 games played, to go along with 19 shots on goal, so definitely firing some rubber on net there. We'll go back to Philly. Look at Travis Sanheim. He's been kind of sneaky good the last little bit here. Owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on the second pairing. And he's put up 4 points in his last 4 games to go along with 7 blocks. Last one is Ryan Suter. He's from Dallas there. Owned in 19% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on the top pairing second power play unit. And he has 4 points in his last 3 games played. Go over to Pittsburgh. Sorry, not last one, but John Marino. He's owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on the second pairing there. It's a bit of a stretch play. He was pointless the last 4 games, but before that he put up 4 points in a 3-game stretch. And somebody has to put up points there besides Letang on the back end. Last one is Adam Pelech from the Islanders. Owned in 4% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on the second pairing there. He's been pointless the last 3 games, but before that he put up 6 points in a 7-game stretch. So if you catch him at the right time, definitely worth having in your lineup. We'll go over to some forwards now. Robert Thomas, he's crazy hot right now. There's nobody with low ownership, like under 65, that's hotter than him. Listed as center right winger, plays on the top line, second power play unit, up to 52% owned, but he's currently on a 9-game point streak where he's put up 17 points. They're like crazy good right now. Next one's Matthew Joseph from Ottawa now, not Tampa Bay anymore. Listed as center, left wing, and right wing, owned in 24% of Yahoo leagues. Playing on that top line, second power play unit, he's definitely liking the increased ice time in Ottawa. He's pointless the last 2 games, but before that he put up 10 points in a 4-game stretch, and there's no reason that he's going to drop out of the top 6 in Ottawa. Next one's Jake DeBrusk from Boston, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 32% of Yahoo leagues, plays in that top line and second power play unit, and he has 7 goals and 3 assists for 10 points in just his last 8 games. Go over to Buffalo for a few. Look at Victor Olofsson, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 12% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second line and second power play unit, and he's put up 9 points in his last 8 games. Next one's Tage Thompson, listed as center, left wing, and right wing, so like that you can place him anywhere in your forward ranks, up to 62% owned, so his ownership's definitely rising. Plays top line, top power play unit, and he's put up 13 points in the last 12 games to go along with 37 shots on goal. Stat line with one of his line mates, Jeff Skinner, listed as a left winger, owned in 31% of Yahoo leagues, just like Thompson, top line, top power play unit, 13 points in 12 games, and 37 shots on goal. Go back to Ottawa. Look at Josh Norris, listed as a center, owned in 58% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play, and he's put up 12 points in just the last 9 games and 34 shots on goal. So that's a boatload of shots in a short amount of time. Go over to Detroit. Look at Jacob Verana, listed as a left winger, owned in 22% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second line, second power play unit, and he's put up 11 points the last 10 games to go along with 28 shots on goal. Go to the Rangers now. Andrew Kopp, listed as center, left wing, and right wing, up to 61% owned. He's definitely enjoying the Big Apple, playing second line with Panarin and second power play unit, and he's put up 14 points in his last 11 games. Go to Nashville, look at Ryan Johansson, listed as a center, owned in 36% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the top line, top power play unit, and he's put up 5 goals and 2 assists for 7 points in just his last 5 games. Go to the Islanders, look at Jean-Gabriel Pageau, listed as a center, owned in 30% of Yahoo leagues, Plays on that second line top power play unit. He's actually bumped Barzal down to third line centering duties. And he's put up 5 goals and 1 assist for 6 points in just his last 4 games. Go back to the Rangers. Another new addition to look at is Frank Vitrano, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 17% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on that top line with Zibanejad and Kreider and second power play unit, and he's put up 8 points his last 9 games. Go to St. Louis. Look at Ivan Barbashev, listed as center, left wing, and right wing, owned in 43% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on the third line and second power play unit. He's currently on a 6-game point streak where he has 4 goals and 4 assists for 8 points. It's really hot, that pesky Russian there. The other one is Andrei Burakovsky in Colorado, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 62% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing on that top line with Ratnan and McKinnon, second power play unit, and he's put up 6 points his last 5 games. Go to Minnesota, look at Joel Eriksson Ek. Listed as a center, owned in 54% of Yahoo leagues. Center's at second line and top power play unit, and he's put up 9 points his last 10 games, so basically point per game player last few weeks here. Go to New Jersey, look at Nico Hischier, listed as a center, owned in 34% of Yahoo leagues. Should be getting more love than 34% owned. But plays top line, top power play unit, and he's put up 16 points in just his last 12 games. Go back to St. Louis. Look at Brandon Saad, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 15% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on the second line and top power play unit, and he's put up 8 points his last 8 games. Go back to the Islanders for a couple. Brock Nelson, listed as a center, owned in 46% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit, and he's put up 13 points his last 11 games played. One of his line mates, Anders Lee, listed as a left winger, owned in 49% of Yahoo leagues, again plays top line, top power play unit. He's been pointless the last 3 games, but he did put up 10 points in the previous 7 games to that. So, and when that line scores, they score in bunches. Going back to Colorado, look at Alex Newhook, listed as center left winger, owned in 3% of Yahoo leagues, playing on that third line, second power play unit, and he's put up 5 points his last 5 games. Go to LA, Adrian Kempe, listed as left winger, right winger, up to 50% owned now, plays on that top line with Kopitar, top power play unit, and he's put up 11 points in his last 10 games and a boatload of shots, 40 shots in 10 games. 4 shots a game. That adds a lot of value for you. Next one is Kevin Hayes from Philly, listed as a center, only owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second line, second power play unit, and he's been really hot the last month, putting up 12 points his last 11 games. Go along with 35 shots on goal, so a nice shot total there too. Next one's Dylan Strome in Chicago, listed as center right winger, owned in 31% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that top line with Kane and top power play unit, and he's put up 11 points his last 11 games. He's actually had a really good, after the first 20 games, really good season. Last one is Cole Caulfield from Montreal, and can't preach enough how good he's had his second half. Left winger, right winger, owned in 59% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the top line, top power play unit, and he has 4 goals and 1 assist in his last 5 games played with 15 shots on goal. Now, we will be out later this week with our Weekend Ads episode, looking for pieces to add for that final push for the fantasy win. Don't forget, if you did like this video, to hit like, remember to subscribe, and remember that notification bell so you get notified of future episodes. And good luck to all you fantasy owners out there.